One day, my humans took me home. I was still very young. I'm a boy. I was put in the cat carrier because I accidentally peed on their rug. But I'm just a baby. But then they let me out. I was so happy that I could finally be out again and play with my mouse toy. It was so lonely. But I didn't mind, because I knew the humans would come back, because they were just at school, or they were just sleeping. As I saw this other cat stare at me, I was so scared of them. I had a day, the kids finally came home, and I played with them and stuff. Now passed on to like 3 years. No, just a few months. Like 9 moons. I was older now. I was still as playful though. They kept getting me more toys and food types. And there was multiple food bowls and water bowls all around with all types of food. My favorite food was the speed and tuna on the blue rug. I ate from my bowl usually, 'cause I'm a hungry kitty. I took my mouse toy, left the water 'cause I didn't want water, and I went upstairs. I played upstairs with the kids again, and the days went on and on and on until I was an adult, a young warrior. One day, I jumped onto their table and accidentally knocked the bottle of water onto their computer, making it break. The cup fell on the floor and broke into pieces. I ran away because I was terrified of the sound it made. My owners yelled at me and picked me and drove me. They put me down on the side of the road. I thought it was just a potty break, like we'd usually do when we go on travel. But then they closed the door and never came back. I still had my mouse toy to remember them from and this purple bow. I was sad, and I waited there till they could come back. For days and days. And they never came back. I was now an adult, but I was still kind of young. I was left to fend for myself, catching mice, bunnies, birds, or anything I could catch. It was a sad time, but I'd always go back, waiting for my owners. At the side of the road. But one day, I just gave up and never went back. I could always smell cats all around, but I've never seen another cat. One day, I went back to the road just to see if they would come back, but they weren't. I crossed the road as many monsters passed, making that huge, scary sound. As I kept crossing the roads, one almost hit me. I was so scared, but I made it, so I just continued walking. I was so exhausted and haven't eaten a good meal in a while. I continued walking until I would have found some place to at least call my home or stay. I began running as I saw a few houses that were huge. I thought maybe they were there, but they weren't. There were only other cats. I was sad. I spent my days in this barn, staying here, just waiting for the two legs to come take me back, to maybe want me again. I couldn't understand why they were so mad at me. Why'd they just leave me? I mean, yeah, I did make my mistakes, but I didn't think they would leave me. I was always so happy near the other cats. They always seemed to be so nice. But sometimes there were no cats in the barn, and I was alone. Again. But some of them would always pass by, or I'd see some on the grass, out of the window, or when I'm sitting outside, running around the grass, meowing, talking to other cats, and being happy and mad. I never understood these cats. I used to call them tribes, but I really never knew what they actually were. I just usually heard my humans call them in a village or other houses, or as I should say, nests, two-leg nests, a lot of them, as a village or a tribe. I never really understood why, but I didn't care. I was fine with it. I kept on to my mouse, now ripped almost into pieces. Its insides almost like out. Its insides were always so soft and fluffy, like fur. I never understood why. But I sat and watched the cats for many, many times. They got bigger than most cats. They'd call me a large warrior, and I never knew why. I'm not a warrior. What do they mean? I never really minded, though. At least I had people to talk to. A home to live in. Yes, there were no good food, and I'd usually always go hunt for some mice or rabbits or birds or whatever I could find. Just to not starve. It's a hard life without humans. Hmm? I once just kept walking away from the barn, trying not to intervene with what the cats and tribes usually were doing, 'cause they seemed mad whenever my friends would go on their territory. I just seemed to keep walking until I eventually got to the place where my humans left me. Every time I saw a blue car, I'd always think, maybe my owners have came back for me, but it just keeps on passing. I found this crossing under the road, like right before that. I didn't know why it was there, but it was a nice place to cross from. The Thunder Path is what I call it. I've heard other cats call it that, so I called it that too. Every time I hear something new from cats, I always seem to say that too. They showed me the best way of surviving after all. I found some berries. I didn't know what they were called, but I was always so happy. I don't know. No. I was always so confused about all these plants. Some helped me not be sick anymore, and some were just nice. Some smelled nice, and some didn't. Some tasted bad, but they still helped. I I was happy around these plants. They helped me survive, too. I didn't know what to do with them.
Wat jy kan sien dat dit op pad is om te gebeur, is die tingling in jou ledemate, baie gaaf,
I once passed through this place.
Wat is die ander ene?
Where I used to live.
En versteurings van slaap.
I was happy finding it again.
Werklike begin van
It was comfy, but not as comfy as the barn.
maar hulle sê dit is eenvoudige ophou.
Well, that's what the other cats called it.
In die breinselle wat gevolg word deur ontlading wat 'n kortstondige versteuring in die bewusstyn.
I started to run as I smelled other cats nearby. I was scared of them. They smelled angry and unhappy. I didn't know if they could sense me or not. But I was always so scared. I eventually came back to the road as I turned back around and ran the other way. Luckily, they didn't find me. And I was happy that they didn't find me. I saw what the other tribe cats did to my one friend. It was so sad. But may the spirits and gods protect them now, where they are. I never wanted to start a fight with any of these tribes. I was too scared. But I knew one day I might run into them. The monsters just kept passing and passing. I kept growing more scared of them as they passed me. I watched them pass. And I just didn't really care anymore. I was finally back at the barn. I was kind of exhausted and I haven't drank anything in a while. I didn't know where to find water, that's why. But on that trip, I noticed water, but I didn't drink from it, since I was trying to survive from the tribal cats. One day, I overheard a few elder cats call them clans. Now that I finally knew what they were actually called, I was kind of happy that I finally knew, but it didn't seem to be good news that what they were talking about, the clan cats. But they said there was a war between two of the clans. I didn't really care much though, just as long as they didn't catch me on their territory. I was so thirsty because I haven't had water in days, so I made my way back to the water that I saw. As I began trotting and then running faster because I was starting to get really thirsty. I didn't know why I started running. I just did. I finally found the water and I took a sip. I drank from the water, leaving my mouse toy on the ground as I drank from the water. I didn't really mind the water, it was nice, better than what the humans gave me. I felt more fine and I didn't really care much. I started running back since the sun was either going down or up. I couldn't tell, but I thought it was going down, so I ran. It was beautiful but bright, very, very bright. I was finally back at the barn and I could be happy again at the barn. I found this place where not many cats go. It was like a private bed area, but I didn't really lay there much. I usually lay down on the hay. Well, the hay that was over here. I saw another cat run in and out. I was confused. I didn't know why they were running in and out. Maybe they were scared. I didn't really mind it, and I just lay down and found myself drifting off into slumber. I had these dreams, these weird dreams. I don't know how to explain them. There were these cats. They were so pretty and glowing in this really pretty place. It looked like we were in the air. I didn't know what it was. They were telling me that something was gonna happen. Something bad or good. And they were telling me that they didn't know what it was. I was confused. And then I woke up feeling like I was falling. Nothing happened. I walked outside to get some fresh air and saw it was night. The moon wasn't entirely up, but it was kind of up. I went to a few haystacks that I saw and lay down on a little bed, a nest that was made there by another cat. I lay down hoping nothing bad will happen, hoping it was something good that was gonna happen. I stood up after a few hours as the moon was going up, and I ran to the road. I don't know why. I just felt like I needed to go there. I felt like I needed to cross it and get to the other side. I didn't know why. I just had this urge. So I did it. I almost got hit by a car. A monster again. I was so scared. I thought that was the thing that they said would happen, but it wasn't. As I made my way into this weird place, there was a cave and some rocks and trees and stuff, just like the forest, but it was different. I heard some foxes, and one came running at me. I scratched it, and it helped me down. I pushed it off and scratched its eye. It yelped and more came. I killed them. I didn't mean to kill them. I just wanted them to stop hurting me. I was so scared. I didn't know my own strength. I ran away. I ran away to the barn. I was so hurt, but I was so scared. I couldn't stop running until I got to the barn. As I finally got to the barn, I went back into a place. I didn't want others to see me like this and ask me what happened. I went to sleep thinking everything will be okay. As it still hurts, I finally went to sleep. When a couple hours passed, I woke up again. The hay was red and I felt dizzy, and I don't know why. I thought to myself, hey, if I get some herbs, I could help myself. And that's what I went to do. Ignore. I ran fast, trying to find something on one of the clan cat's territory. Hello, this is me editing the video. By the way, sorry it cut off at the end there. My recording system was like, hey, I'm just gonna stop recording and not let you record again, but it let me record this, so it's weird, but yeah, just wanted to let you know part 2 is probably gonna be in a few days or so. I don't think I will upload this to YouTube, but I will send it to my friends. So yeah, bye. Have a great day.